Hi, welcome to the Bencher Movie Club. My name's Charlie.
My name's Ben.
And in this special episode, we're going to be talking about the Academy Awards, in particular the 96th Academy Awards, which is out on Sunday. And it showcases the best movies of 2023.
And Charlie's made us dress up like this. Nothing to do with me. I literally just got home from work 5 minutes ago. And
we're at the Oscars.
Funny.
Oh, we're at the Oscars. You're
okay,
smart.
We're at the Oscars. Charlie's been watching all the Academy Award. Well, all of them.
Most of them. I've seen all the Best Picture nominated films.
Right, so he's watched all of them. So he's going to give his opinion. I didn't want to see them. I don't think I was going to be that interested in a lot of them.
Yeah.
Have I seen any of them?
Yeah. Yeah, you have.
What have I seen?
You've seen Barbie.
Is that it? I think that's it. Yeah, I've seen Barbie.
Yeah.
So that's it. So he's going to be the expert in this.
But
he's going to be giving his opinion.
I've also watched ones where, say, like there's... Because I'm going to give my opinion on what I think will win, what should win, and what really should win, as in films that weren't even nominated. And we're going to talk about best film, best director, best actor, best actress, best supporting actor, and best supporting actress, and that's it. So you know any facts about it?
Yeah, I've got a few facts. The shortest performance ever was by Beatrice Straight. She was on screen for 5 minutes and 2 seconds in Network in 1976, and she won it for Best Supporting Actress. 5 minutes and 2 seconds.
Anthony Hopkins done a really short performance, didn't he, for Silence of the Lambs? He's not actually inside.
But he done more than 5 minutes and 2 seconds.
I think he done about 12 minutes, something like that.
Yeah, well, that's still... Is that what he done?
Well, it's very short. It might be more than that. I don't know.
No, because he's got some long scenes with Clarice.
I'll fact check it and stick up.
Yeah, no, I don't think that's right.
No, he has. I'll look it up afterwards, but
okay.
He hasn't. Anyway.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what's the first thing we're going to be talking about, Charlie?
I think might as well go to the big one, and that's Best Picture.
Okay.
So I've seen... as part of our channel, we don't like slagging off films. So I'm going to avoid that as much as possible. But I'll just tell you the 10 films that were nominated. And a brief opinion of them, I guess. Okay, so there was American Fiction, which has been nominated. Anatomy of a Fall, Barbie, The Holdovers, Killers of the Flower Moon, Maestro, Oppenheimer, Poor Things, The Zone of Interest, and Past Lives. So I'll go through them. So American Fiction is about a successful, a black writer who writes one book, and then his publishers don't want any of his other books because they're not black enough. He has to start talking all street and writing a book. And it makes great strides to sort of break down the black stereotypes. But what it does was wrong, I think. It sort of doubles down on other stereotypes. Like, for example, they makes one of the supporting characters is gay. So then when he's at home, he's got like a few sort of like Queen boys walking about in their pants going, "Coo-ee!" And, I'm good at making them. And you think, why? You do all this hard work, and yet you sort of shoot yourself in the foot like that. And then also
it should be past all the stereotypes by now.
Yeah, but then it also has all like these sort of white executives who are so stupid and so blindsided by the fact they want to be all like liberal and stuff. They're oblivious to everything, and it's just a bunch of people sort of looking at, judging, and it's I won't, but it's okay.
Okay.
I'm slagging it off a bit, mate.
So has the Oscars actually happened?
No. I've watched all the films, though.
I still don't know who's won.
No. Ben, I've just said what I think will win, what should win, and what's really going to win.
Oh, I won't listen.
Right.
Sorry.
There was Anatomy of a Fall, which got great rave reviews, and it's about a woman whose husband is mysteriously found at the bottom in the snow while her blind son is out for a walk. He comes back and he finds his dead dad, and she's like the main suspect, and it's all like a courtroom. It's in France, and they keep jumping between French and English, which is fine, because she doesn't speak very good French, the woman in it.
Okay.
And that's Sandra Hüller, or Hüller. I can't remember how to say her name. She's actually in 2 of the films that are nominated, because the other one she's in is Zone of Interest, which is about like a period piece about a family living next door to a concentration camp.
Okay.
But that's it, pretty much.
What, like reality sort of show?
It's like Big Brother. If Big Brother was next to a concentration camp, But
Then you sort of go into the nan out of Catherine Tate. What a load of old shit.
no, it might not have been for that one. It might have been. It was definitely for one of them. But no, Zone of Interest. It's like art for art's sake. It has like this opening. The opening is, spoiler alert. The opening 2 minutes is a black screen with this music. No
2 minutes.
No credits. Just, and that's also the closing 2 minutes. And I thought, well, I know the film's finished now. I mean, again, people love this film, and it's just my opinion. So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I can't really judge any of them either. I might be sitting there slagging them, but I don't see none of them, so I can't really sort of tell.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Barbie, of course, we already spoke about, which I thought was fine. I enjoyed Barbie. I know Lily really liked it, and I think it was more for she was the audience, really.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking as well. When I thought about Barbie afterwards, I don't think I'm the target audience for it because of my age.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, when I was younger, I probably would have maybe enjoyed it more.
Yeah. There was The Holdovers, which is Paul Giamatti, who's been nominated for Best Actor, where he's a teacher at a university out in America, and he's left over the winter to look after one boy, and he's got his maid, who's played by Divine Joy Randolph. She's been nominated for Best Supporting Actress. And, you know, a cynical part of me thinks that it's just Oscar bait. They've stuck this film. It gives me similar feels to, say, like Dead Poet Society. You know, it's all like, oh, it's got this bit of a message. But at
I
least
haven't seen that either. So that's when they'll stand on the
Desks.
chairs and say, I'm Spartacus.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah. There's Killers of the Flower Moon, Martin Scorsese, which is better than I expected. That was...
Oh, you like that one?
Well, it's better than I expected. I wasn't expecting much from it. It reminded me, obviously it's Martin Scorsese, it reminded me as if it was like an older version of Goodfellas in a way, like the gangster side of it, the crime side of it.
Martin Scorsese.
No.
Who's the one that you said
He's
has
been
died
nominated for
recently?
Best Director. I don't remember.
Ridley Scott?
No, Ridley Scott. I'm going to cut all that out. Go watch this movie channel. Only dude. And I thought Robert De Niro's been nominated for Best Supporting Actor for that film. The only problem with it, I think it's part of a streaming service as well. It might be like on Netflix or something like that, or Amazon. It's really long. And
Right.
I ain't got a problem with long films, but it's unnecessarily long. Afterwards, I thought that's very weighty. They could have cut loads of that down, and that could have been a great film.
If you're looking at your clock the whole time when that's
Yeah.
on, then you sort of then that's not a good film.
Yeah, no.
You're looking, going, how much long has it got? How long's it been on for?
Yeah. You had Maestro. It's like a paint-by-numbers biopic, really. In love with its own artistry. It's directed by Bradley Cooper, starring Bradley Cooper, produced by Bradley Cooper.
Songs by Bradley Cooper.
Yeah.
Makeup by Bradley Cooper.
Theme tune.
Original score by Bradley Cooper.
He's been criticised recently because he was having an interview with Emma Stone, where Cillian Murphy was phoned by Chris Nolan, and he's saying in an interview, I've had 6 months to prepare to be Oppenheimer. It's grueling 6 months, but blah blah blah. Bradley Cooper in this interview, who's also been nominated against him, said to Emma Stone, I've been working on this project for 6 years. You know, I didn't get a call 6 months ago. Like, I'm sure you're one. You've put loads of the effort in. And I thought that's, you know, and it shows on screen. I thought that sounds a bit bitchy. He's having a go at the other guy. He's also been criticised for playing Junos.
Who?
This is the equivalent of blackface, but for Jewish people. He's got prosthetic nose to make him look like the person who he's playing. Although he is
Can't you do that
playing...
now? You can't put like nose things on.
But there's loads
What about in the song about Mary? And also
No, that's his actual nose.
no, what's that? What's the one with Adam Sandler at the beginning, and he's got the really big nose? Is that the one with him and Jennifer Aniston? Just go with
I
it.
don't know, I ain't seen it. But the way the film is shot, the way Maestro's shot, where it's sort of like he gets out of bed and the camera comes in, it's all sweeping, shows this big, and it's like part of it's shot in black and white, and then it changes as like time goes on. It's obviously every shot is trying to show, oh, look how fancy it is. Look what I'm doing here. Isn't this the kind of thing you people Oscars like?
Do they make a lot of films on purpose so they come out round about the time for the Oscars? So they do it.
That's what this
they
is.
want it to be an Oscar film.
Most of these are.
Right.
Not all of them. Oppenheimer wasn't, because Oppenheimer and Barbie was released in the summer. So then there's Oppenheimer, which, artistically it's flawless. It looks great. Christopher Nolan's done a great way of telling this story. But my main problem is I'm not a fan of biopics. I'm not a fan of, I weren't bothered about Walk the Line, Ray, Rocket Man, all of that. Bohemian Rhapsody. I watch them and I go, that's interesting.
Yeah, but I think they go one direction. There's too much.
One Direction.
You can't. No, you can't. You can't tell the whole story without warts and all.
They've got Bob Marley one out now. They've got Amy Winehouse. I see the trailer for that one.
I didn't know. Oh, okay, they're doing one for Amy Winehouse.
Which again, if you like the person, you think I might watch that. It might give me an opinion. But my problem with biopics is if it's about someone you already know what's going to happen.
Right.
And you're not going to be surprised.
And also, you're
it's
not
not
going
a
to
visual story. It's not like all of a sudden, like someone gets killed or something like that, because you go, I know what happens next, and that's the problem.
I think they had the same with the Whitney one. I think they cut. The thing is, they have to cut so much out 'cause they can't go in a certain direction. They don't want it to be like too much of a tragic story. They want it to, they want to sort of plump it up a little bit.
Yeah.
Colour it in, make it look a little bit more aesthetically pleasing. That's why a lot of these biopics, don't work.
So there's Poor Things as well, which was.
Did you really like that one? That's the one.
No.
Yesterday.
I was excited about going to see it, and I know loads of people do love it, and they'll probably go, "You don't know what you're talking about." But for me, it was like as if Tim Burton produced a high-end porno. Yeah,
okay.
Or he got David Lynch to direct it, and they was arguing the whole time. It's just Emma Stone having a lot of sex, quite hard. It's an 18 certificate. It's her and Mark Ruffalo. I mean, you don't see they're not actually having sex, but you see her completely in the nude. She's about this woman who it's in Victorian times. She's killed herself. She's pregnant. William Dafoe is like a Frankenstein type person. Takes her out the river, cuts her open, takes out the baby's brain, puts it in her head, so she's got a baby's brain, and then reanimates it. And you see, so she's a full-grown woman, sort of learning.
So sort of like Weird Science.
Yeah. No, he doesn't want to do anything with her, but he's just like this mad. You think he's a Scottish scientist, but if he's trying to do Scottish, it's quite bad. It's quite a bad accent. It's just a weird sort of freaky accent.
Yeah,
loads of people love it.
My cup of tea.
No,
it might be good. It might be really good, but
you can check it out now, can't you? Mm-hmm. And finally, Past Lives, which was a Korean/American film, which was about two childhood friends who he really loved her when they was he had a little crush on her when they was kids. She ended up going to Canada and living in New York, and they chatted a little bit through the internet, the early days of the internet. Then eventually they meet up in a bar, but by now she's married this American guy, and he sort of feels like a little left one. But it's nothing exciting. It's literally just sort of it's a sweet enough film. It's not. It's kept me interested enough to watch it, but it weren't like there's any twists or anything like that. It shows well sort of friendships between people and love and stuff.
Right, only one person has ever been legally allowed to sell their Oscar, and that was Harold Russell, and it was to pay for his wife's medical bills, and he got $60,500 for it in 1993.
Wow, I wonder who bought it.
Katharine Hepburn holds the record for the most wins for Best Actress. She won 4.
Okay, so out of those best films, I'll tell you what I think will win it. I think it's safe bet's Oppenheimer. I think Oppenheimer's going to win it fairly easily.
Okay.
Just because of the amount of accolade it already got, and it probably done in its favour that it came out in summer and people were still talking about it later into the year.
Right.
There's films they thought maybe later in the year might have been in competition, like Napoleon. But Napoleon...
It didn't get nominated, did it?
No, it's not been nominated, and Joaquin Phoenix hasn't been nominated either. So, Ridley Scott as Best Director, which I get. I mean, it wasn't a great film, but I'd put it on par with all these, so I wouldn't have been surprised if it had been nominated,
So none of these films blew you away?
No, I wouldn't say so. I mean, I enjoyed them. I enjoyed Barbie.
Well, all of them?
No, I enjoyed some of them. Some of them was a chore. Which, when you think these are supposedly the 10 best films of the year, you'd think that was a bit of a rubbish year.
Right, okay.
And who I think should win, probably Oppenheimer. Because out of all of them, it is probably the best one artistically. And even though I'm not as huge a fan of it as other people, I'm a big fan of Christopher Nolan, and he delivers exactly what you'd expect him to deliver. It's a good film. It ticks all the boxes. You know, it's got the right actors. The cinematography is always amazing. The sounds, everything about it. Who I think really should win. Now, I did consider, there's a film called Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret. Okay, which is based on a famous old American book, which is about a 12-year-old girl going through a period and trying to grow boobs and stuff. And I thought that was exactly the kind of thing I thought Oscars should go for, because it's an interesting enough story. It's not
like a John
offensive.
Hughes kind of film.
Well, no, it's just like it's a really young girl. So she's, as I said, she's like about 12. You know.
Well, it's just a girl going through puberty.
Yeah, but it's like her meeting her friends and like making new friends, and like they're being bitchy to the other people in class. She doesn't realise she's being. She's going, oh my god, look how tall that girl is. There's a girl in the class who's like about 6 foot tall. Oh. I looked up films that were snubbed, and that was one of the lists. So loads of the films that were snubbed I've watched as well, just so I can have an opinion as to which ones missed out. So that is one that I think could have been in the running. Other ones that I've watched, like Naiad, which the best actress has been nominated, that was interesting. Again, it's a biopic about a woman swimming from Cuba to Florida. And she's quite old. She was young. It was Annette Bening plays the part, and her friend,
based on a true story.
Yeah, her best friend's Jodie Foster.
Okay.
And she keeps trying to do this impossible swim which no one young could do it, and she keeps trying because she used to be a good swimmer when she was younger. And then she gets stung by a jellyfish on one attempt. The sharks are coming at her and stuff like that. It's quite sort of intense.
It's like a sort of road movie.
Yes, well,
with that road.
Yeah. Iron Claw I watched, which is the wrestling one, which started off I actually quite enjoyed at first. It reminded me of Boogie Nights. It's a true story about a wrestling family and all the things that went wrong.
One that I think should have gone into it is All of Us Strangers.
Yeah.
That is a really good film. I really love that film.
Yeah.
And that would have been one that I would have thought, because it ticks the LGBTQ box as well. And it's a really good storyline, fantastic acting. They could have all been nominated. Brilliant film, that.
The Old Oak I watched, which was a Ken Loach film, probably one of his last ones, which is about a pub up north, which is back in 2016. They've moved loads of Syrian refugees into the area. So there's a bloke who's got his house.
Helena Bonham Carter?
No.
Oh.
Yeah, and that was interesting, but it didn't feel like it sort of... I mean, it had really good beats all the way along, and then just sort of ends, and I thought there'd be something else at the end, like a bit more of a climax.
Right.
Ferrari, which had Adam Driver in it, who I thought was actually quite good in it, but I'm surprised him and Penelope Cruz, who plays his wife in it. She's really good in it. I thought that's the kind of thing that you'd expect at the Oscars as well. Just because it ticks these boxes, it's as good as, say, the films that have been nominated. But the one I think really should have won is probably All of Us Strangers.
Yeah.
I felt it ticks all the boxes that the Oscar wants, but it's actually an interesting story as well.
Yeah.
And it's one of those films, like when you watch a film and you think, what would I do in that situation?
Yeah.
Or I always wondered these things.
Yeah, I felt like, I think that was my age group as well. I would have been the same age as him in the 80s, and I was going through a lot of the same stuff. And also I was thinking, I wonder what I would have been like if Mum and Dad had died. Not that I was wishing my Mum and Dad dead.
Yeah.
But, I think, could I have told them that? And could I, I just thought it was a really good film. And also then, without saying too much, lots of little twists. A good film.
Just quickly, a couple of other films that could have easily found their way. Saltburn, I know had a lot of...
Saltburn's a good film as well. It's a really unusual film, but it's another one that sort of... well, what have I just watched? It's like...
See, the main actor in that, I think he'd been nominated at the BAFTAs, so he was in for a running for possibly getting nominated in this.
Yeah.
But they snubbed him.
He's going to start being in a lot of stuff now, because I haven't heard of him from before, but I know he's been in lots of stuff, hasn't he? But I wouldn't have known him, but he is... Yeah. He was really good in that film. In fact, they all was really good in that film.
I also watched Priscilla, which I hadn't even...
Queen of the... Is that the...
No. Priscilla Presley.
Oh, okay. What's that? I didn't know.
It's a biopic. Then you had Elvis come out a couple of years ago. This one's Priscilla. It's just her meeting Elvis because she was only like 14, I think, when he met her. Yeah, so Priscilla is a biopic directed by Sofia Coppola about Priscilla Presley's life with Elvis, and it shows him being quite abusive to her. Not over the top, but like hits her with stuff and oh, sorry, baby. Oh, come back to bed. Yeah. And it always looks creepy because how short she is. But I think he looked more convincing as Elvis
than the other one did.
Than the other one
that played Elvis.
Yeah.
That's the same with Freddie Mercury, though,
Butler.
isn't it?
Something Butler.
He was good, though, the one that played Freddie Mercury, and the one that played Elton John.
Yeah, but
the one that played Whitney. I mean, but they're just, you know, I think when you love someone so much, I'll tell you who's they're going to do one. George Michael. Yeah. That'd be a good one.
But they're doing Michael Jackson at the moment.
Madonna would be a good one, like an early Madonna.
Yeah.
But she'll probably want to play her as young.
Well, they can do de-aging now, can't they? So just to recap, so best film will be won by Oppenheimer, should be won by Oppenheimer, but really should be won by All of Us Strangers. So Ben, tell me some more facts.
All right, Walt Disney has won the most Academy Awards, 22 in total.
And he gets 7 little ones for the 7 Dwarfs. I think they made like 7 little when he won for Snow White.
Well, they wouldn't have added them to the 22, would they?
No, I don't think so. But I'm just saying, as a gesture, he got the main statue and he had like 7 little ones they made because they loved the 7 Dwarfs. Great film, Snow White.
So saying that new Snow White ain't going to win no Oscars. Anyway, Midnight Cowboy is the only X-rated movie to win Best Picture. It won 3 Oscars in total.
John Voight and Dustin Hoffman.
Yeah, it's quite a good film, actually, from what I remember.
Yeah. That's where he famously improvised that scene. He goes, I'm walking here.
Yeah.
Because apparently they was shooting and that car nearly...
And that probably, none of them was probably extras. They was all just probably people walking around New York or something. Hattie McDaniel was the first black person to be nominated for an Oscar. She won Best Supporting Actress in 1940 for her role as Mammy in Gone with the Wind.
Right, now I'm going to talk about Best Actor. So... the ones that are nominated: Bradley Cooper for Maestro, Coleman Domingo for Rustin, Paul Giamatti for The Holdovers, Cillian Murphy for Oppenheimer, and Jeffrey Wright for American Fiction.
So, who do you think should win out of all them?
Well,
you've seen these films, haven't you?
Yeah, I think Cillian Murphy will win. I think he's going to win.
And do you think he should win?
I think out of them, I think he should win. Because again, I know there's going to be a lot of people watching when he wins at the Academy Awards. They won't be watching him; they'll be watching Bradley Cooper. They want to see his reaction because he's the guy who he slagged off. So he's going to be sitting there doing Joey face.
Friends, yeah.
Again, the others, they're all fine. They're all great actors, but there's no real performance there, which really sort of knocks me out of it. I think Cillian Murphy done a good job out of all these, best job out of all these, because the way he's got such a huge project, Oppenheimer, on his shoulders, and he's sort of a bit effortless with it. You know, He's very good as this character. But ones who didn't get nominated, so again, you had Adam Driver as Ferrari, which I think he could have easily had a nomination on here. Same, and Zac Efron in...
Is it Gladiator or something?
No. Zac Efron.
Gladiator film or something, isn't it?
No, stop saying that.
No, it's
Ben, I've just talked about the film.
Yeah, but
I've just spoke about the film. I'm going to remind you now. Zac Efron in Iron Claw, which is the wrestling biopic I just spoke about. Remember the wrestling, true story
I've
wrestling?
seen posters of it on the
yeah,
stations.
That's them as wrestlers. Yeah, not gladiators. Even though his performance isn't sort of like I would have thought would win it, I felt he'd done such a departure from his previous work. And he put so much effort building up his body to look like a wrestler because I know he's always been muscly, but he's always been quite small.
Yeah, but a lot of them can do that though, don't they? They've got the personal trainers, the food. That's all they work on.
Yeah, I know.
Because
you sound bitter about it. Yeah, it's easy for them. They ain't got to go work.
Yeah,
8 hours a day.
Oh, right, listen, I'd love to have one of them trainers.
They get
I don't just go, right, you've got to get right buff for a film. I go, brilliant, bring it on.
Yeah,
bring it
you
on.
Get your personal trainer, dietitian.
Yeah,
you know, and you haven't got to do other things. You can go to the gym twice a day. In fact, they'll make you.
They'll make you. They'll go, right, you've got to do this, even if you're crying with pain. They'll go, do it.
And the vast majority of these films, you know, when they do it, so you have the topless scene with the bloke. So he's all.
That'll be the last scene they shoot.
No, it's the very first scene they shoot. They shoot that first, because then after that, He hasn't got to go
Right.
gym twice a day. He can then
Right.
start eating. It
It's-
doesn't
and
matter
also,
if he
yeah,
loses
I
a
suppose
six
they're
pack.
filming.
Like all the Marvel films, like the Wolverine with Hugh Jackman, where there's this scene where he's having a fight with his top off. That's the first thing they shot. He says about how bad cramp he had.
Yeah,
every
makes
time he
sense.
because
Makes
he's
sense,
dehydrated to
yeah.
look all ripped and stuff.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Who really should have won it? I think Andrew Scott again for All of Us Strangers.
Yeah.
Because again his performance, he's not sort of posturing, he's not doing like a silly voice or anything like that, he's not got a fake nose, but his performance is believable and you really
it's
feel
a very
for him.
emotional performance in that.
Like his conversations with his mum and his dad
Yeah.
and his boyfriend, every single one of them, like the emotional scenes, you
It's a very
believe.
gentle kind of person in it as well.
Yeah.
It's like very...
And you can see when he's sort of breaking down,
Yeah,
he does it in a way like
emotional.
you don't think he's supposed to break down, but he is. It's such a like a naturalistic performance.
I don't know why this film was snubbed from the Oscars.
No.
It's a brilliant film. If you ain't seen it, anyone, go and watch it. Edith Head is the most awarded and nominated woman in Oscar history, with 8 wins and 35 nominations. She's so iconic that Pixar used her for inspiration for Edna Mode in The Incredibles.
Oh.
Who's Edna Mode? I don't think I've seen The Incredibles. Is that the little stretchy...
No capes,
is that
darling.
is that the stretchy
Yeah.
family?
You don't wear fucking capes. Blah, blah, blah.
I don't- Oh, no, well, I don't think I've seen The Incredibles. I know it's about a family that stretch. Don't they all stretch?
Yeah.
What are you laughing at?
That's not it.
No, that's
One of them
Incredibles then.
stretches.
Oh, okay. All right.
One's like it's like a superhero thing, but it's a Pixar one. So the little boy is really fast. The girl,
Oh,
can
they've all
turn
got
invisible.
different... Oh,
They've
okay.
got different powers.
I thought they all stretch. I don't know. Well, I ain't seen it. So.
Obviously. Okay, so the nominees for Best Actress, you got Annette Bening for Naiad, Lily Gladstone for Killers of the Flower Moon, Sandra Hüller for Anatomy of a Fall, Carey Mulligan for Maestro, and Emma Stone for Poor Things. Emma Stone, I think, is going to win it. I think she's going to win Best Actress.
Does she deserve to win it?
I don't think so. I'm a big fan of Emma Stone. You know, she was in that Crazy Stupid Love. I think she's a fantastic actress. She's very believable, and she does a good enough performance in this. But it's
too arty for you.
The film itself took away from me, and I also think there's someone else nominated who done a better performance, and it's not Lily Gladstone. Loads of people want her to win for Killers of the Flower Moon, which I thought she was okay. Carey Mulligan I thought was okay, and Sandra Hüller I thought was okay. I didn't think that was terrible, but I didn't think there was anything that really sort of took me into the story. I think Annette Bening for Naiad should win.
Really?
Yeah, I've never been bothered about Annette Bening. She's always been like another name on the poster for me. You know, I've seen her in films and just.
I know
the
the name. I can't place her face.
She's sort of like short hair, like round face. She's like a lot of films in the 90s.
Yeah, I know her name. I don't know of any films I think that I like of hers that she's in. Well, she might be a bit part in something. I don't know. I can't.
No,
think.
this is it. But with this film, you got her playing which I know this goes against what I was saying before, but regarding biopics, it's actually quite an interesting one because it focuses on this one event, this one passion of hers. It only sort of briefly delves into like any abuse that she had when she was younger and stuff. She's just been swimming her whole life, and she attempts this impossible.
And
swim.
that's all it is. It's about her swimming across the Thames, not Thames, the Channel Tunnel.
Yeah. No, they say it.
Where does she swim?
From Cuba to Florida.
Oh, okay.
That's a long swim. It's so long, Ben. It takes like
Why
about
did she do that then? Who was chasing her?
sharks. But no, it's not like it's swimming in a day.
But no,
it
that's
takes
the thing
a couple
as well.
of days.
Yeah, but
everyone's
that's
going to sleep. She can't touch the boat. She just keeps swimming.
Yeah, but
for
there's,
like days on
there's
end.
things in the water.
I know. It's very well. This is the thing. This is what the film focuses on. Not only that, but the endurance of her body. Imagine constantly moving, like
For 2 days.
yeah, or I can't remember how many days it was, but
2 minutes.
But for for her doing that, like, and when she needs feeding, she comes up to the boat. She's not allowed to touch the boat. Jodie Foster pulls out like a little straw, and she takes like.
Was it like a torture thing they was doing to her? Or was it
No,
like, is it,
it's what she wants to do. None of them
She
wanna
wanted to do it.
It's got Rhys Ifans as the captain.
I like him. I've not in ill in it.
He's really good in it. Rhys Ifans is really good in it. I think the 3 main ones, it's him, Jodie Foster, and
She's
Annette
good,
Bening.
Jodie Foster.
Yeah, Jodie Foster's really good. She's been nominated.
She didn't do films for a long time, and she suddenly popped up again now.
Yeah, well, it's sort of.
She hasn't done nothing for quite a while, Jodie Foster.
I think Annette Bening deserves to be Best Actress.
Okay. What about who should have been nominated?
Greta Lee was snubbed for Past Lives. That was the one about the childhood friends, nominated for Best Film. Some people thought she was going to get nominated. Also, Margot Robbie for Barbie. Loads of people thought maybe she would have been nominated.
What about Ryan Gosling? Was he? Was he?
He's been nominated for Best Supporting Actor.
Oh, he's been supported.
But see, loads of people go, how ironic, this film about how men always get treated better than women, it's only the man who's been nominated. But, I just think, I think they've done, Margot Robbie was great in that in Barbie.
Yeah, he was good. He was good as well.
I think Margot Robbie... I
think she was like a downtrodden kind of... I think they sort of girl-powered it all the way through that film.
Yeah, but
I don't think they made it as though like they was downtrodden sort of girls. I think they sort of put their point across in Barbie.
Yeah.
As though like we ain't going to take it no more.
But who I think should have won Best Actress was Abby Ryder Fulton for Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret, which again is what I said about that.
She's a little girl, is she?
Yeah. I think
I've not heard of
she's
that.
probably about 13 or 14. But the fact that she...
But as I say, what is it about? It's just a little girl.
Imagine like Bridget Jones as a 12-year-old.
Yeah, but it's a bit of a weird subject, isn't it, for a youngster going through...
no, but it's a universal subject. Half the people on Earth go through a period.
Of course, no, I know that.
So
but I'm saying, yeah, I suppose. I ain't going to say no.
It'd be one of those... No, but it's one of those things like when you watch Bridget Jones, you're not a woman, but you can understand her perspective. Oh, that's a big deal to women. That's important.
Of course it is.
So
yeah,
when you're watching,
every woman goes through it.
So you're watching this, and you're watching her relationship with her mum, and it's quite like funny at parts. It's not really that mean spirited.
I'm trying to gauge what kind of genre it is. Is it like a comedy? Is it like a John Hughes? Is it like a drama?
Ben, it's
horror?
like a comedy drama. Imagine Bridget Jones meets My Girl. So somewhere in between,
Okay.
I think it's a...
Is it a British film?
It's American. It's like 70s America.
And is she a well-known actress, or is she just brand new?
She's only young. But
okay.
I personally, out of all those...
But it's got good reviews and all that.
Yeah, it's got good reviews. And it could have easily got a nomination for it.
But as I say, at the end of the day, every single woman goes through that. I mean, I don't know what it's like, but obviously every woman knows what it's like.
But it's like, for example, when I watch All of Us Strangers... So I'm not a gay man, but it sort of shows me what it's like in that world. I go, wow,
and it is similar to that, actually. It is very similar to that, and that's what I liked about it. It wasn't sleazy, which is quite nice, because usually in the gay films, there's one of them's cheating or one of them's sort of slagging around, or actually that's cheating, isn't it?
Yeah.
But it was just a nice love story, and it was only a small part of it. It wasn't too graphic, that's why I would have been funny showing you that as my brother. Do you know what I mean? I would have been like, oh.
Well, this ain't too graphic. This is literally, it's quite a sweet natured. It's, as I say, it's probably like a PG. But what I like about it shows like her with these other girls, and it's not that they're nasty, but like when someone's bitching about people and they don't even realise what they're doing is wrong, kind of thing. So it's like, for example, I said there's this tall girl, and they go, oh yeah, she gets like loads of boyfriends and stuff like that.
So sort of like Annie.
No, it's nothing like Annie. So then later in the film, she thinks, I'm going to have a go, you're out of order or something. Goes, oh, you got a problem. And the big girl sort of says, what is wrong with you? Why are you always bullying me? And it's only then she realises, oh, actually, I'm being a bit of an arse. But it's well made the way it does.
It's like Carrie when she starts looking at stuff and everything starts...
I'm not going to spoil it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, maybe I'll watch that one. I thought you said, do you want to have a fag? I just say I don't smoke.
Can I have a fag?
Yeah.
It's cold now.
The shortest Oscar speech ever was by Patty Duke, who simply said, thank you, upon winning Best Supporting Actress in 1963 for The Miracle Worker.
And it's also someone else done that for Best Supporting Actor, Joe Pesci. When Joe Pesci won...
But he might have said, I thank you, or something.
No, he's the same amount, but he's not Best Actor. He was Best Supporting Actor.
She was Best Supporting Actress.
Oh, really? Well, yeah, he says, I'm sure all he said was thank you.
That's what she says, thank you.
Because I always think, if I ever...
They might have said thank you very much.
Elvis. But I always thought, if I ever won an Oscar, I'd go, cheers. And go...
Just so you can go, so you can be in that
yeah,
list.
They go, the shortest ever accepted
cheers.
Speech. Cheers. And then someone else comes up and goes,
Yeah. Three actors...
Yeah.
have refused to accept their Oscars, which was Marlon Brando for Best Actor for The Godfather in 1973.
And he sent a Native American up to accept it on his behalf.
George C. Scott, 1970, for Best Actor for Patton.
Yeah.
And Dudley Nichols in 1936 best screenplay for The Informer? You laugh at
I
that.
remember that song.
Is that
what
your
you
boom
wrote?
boom sound? Yeah, that's it. It's about that.
No, I knew the first.
That's
two,
where the
didn't
song comes from.
Yeah.
From that film from 1936.
Yeah, they sampled it. No, I knew the first two.
I didn't know the
that.
Oscars were going since 1936. Actually, I didn't write that. When did they start? Must have been 100 years ago.
Yeah. It was pretty old.
Is it 100 years? No, not 100 years yet.
No. Well, this is the 96th
Right,
Academy
okay,
Awards.
96 years then.
Five,
That's
yeah.
it, 96 years.
Yeah.
Oh, the 100 year will be a good one then.
So now we go on to the supporting actors. Best supporting actors nominated is Sterling K. Brown for American Fiction, Robert De Niro for Killers of the Flower Moon, Robert Downey Jr. for Oppenheimer, Ryan Gosling for Barbie, and Mark Ruffalo for Poor Things. Now, they're actually... Most of them are really good performances. That Sterling K. Brown is fine in American Fiction, but he's the gay brother I said about. So it's not so much him, but what they do with his partners. I'll look at his lifestyle. You can't trust him for 1 minute. He's broken into his mum's house and he's got like his sort of rent boys and they're doing like drugs and whatever. You know, I think the supporting actor will be won by Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah, he's good though, isn't he?
He is good, and he's good in Oppenheimer. He is really good in Oppenheimer. However...
He's been going for ages. Been going forever, since I remember. He's got been going for at least 40-odd years.
Well, from Weird Science,
I remember
pretty much.
him. I think I remember him from before Weird Science.
Yeah, Robert Downey Jr. is going to win this. However, I actually think Robert De Niro should win it for Killers of the Flower Moon, out of those nominated, because for years, I was a huge fan of Robert De Niro when I was younger. I think his early films... like things like Taxi Driver, Mean Streets,
Job Day Afternoon,
Raging Bull,
Scarface,
Cape Fear.
No, that's
Say that again. That's really
Al Pacino. Sorry,
Tootsie. He's different in all
Annie.
of them. Right, no, I'll do it again. Right. So Robert De Niro, he always done great performances like Taxi Driver, Deer Hunter, Raging Bull, Cape Fear. Yeah. What else? What other ones?
Brady Bunch.
No, but I do feel that when he started doing... I think he had a health scare in the 90s and he started doing more comedies, which some of them were okay, like the first Analyse
He's done
That,
a few silly stuff.
and the first Meet the Parents was
same as
okay.
Al Pacino. He's done that really bad
Jack
one.
and Jill.
Yeah, and that's like he's Scarface for fuck's sake.
Yeah, but this is the
why
thing.
would
Those,
you do that? You don't need to do that.
and even going back to The Irishman, which Robert De Niro and Al Pacino were both in, even then I weren't that bothered. I thought he's not got what he used
I think
to
because
have.
they peaked so early on, they peaked.
You get a window
and they not only did they
impress.
peak, they done a good few films that they were amazing in, and it's like, oh my god, they're like so iconic that they've got to be so careful what they touch, and that's why the ones that they touched, say 20 years ago or 10, 20 years ago. Like Jack and Jill and things like that, and other ones that Robert De Niro done, got to be so careful because it's like you've
Taints
got
your
such
reputation.
you shouldn't even have to work again. You'd rather not like someone like Jack Nicholson who doesn't do nothing. You'd rather just sort of like maybe dip into a couple.
Yeah, or Warren Beatty doesn't do anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to ruin your reputation.
Warren Beatty's
Not that
very
it's, as I say, at the end of the day, they're iconic. Robert De Niro and Al Pacino are fantastic and
Yeah,
they're
they're
amazing
solidified.
actors.
As long as
I'm
they
not
stay out
slagging
of
them at all. I
politics.
absolutely love them. I love
Yeah.
them to bits. They're both amazing actors.
In this, Robert De Niro, Killers of the Flower Moon, with him and Leo DiCaprio, who was also snubbed as a best actor. Like loads of people thought, he's going for another Oscar.
Is he in that? He's in that.
He's in Killers of the Flower Moon.
Is that? That's not the Quentin Tarantino film, is it?
No, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Yeah,
Couple of years.
I know.
Yeah, that was a couple of years ago.
I was there.
Right. You all right?
Yeah, I just dropped my Fuck off.
But I felt with him and DiCaprio, they worked well together, but I think De Niro really showed his quality again. Like, there's some scene, because he's basically what the story's about, Killers of the Flower Moon. It's a true story, but it's more the way Scorsese does it, so it shows the gangster side of it. These Native Americans were pushed onto a piece of land. They find oil. They then become the richest people in America.
Okay.
So they're going up buying new cars all the time and stuff like this. And Robert De Niro marries, he sort of orchestrates all these people he knows marrying into the fact, oh, you like red women, don't you? To DiCaprio, he's his nephew. You marry one.
Yeah.
And then when she dies, you'll get her money. And they all start mysteriously dying, all the Indians.
Okay.
Which actually, makes me think of someone else who could have got a nomination for Best Supporting Actor is Jesse Plemons. You know from he's in that episode of Black Mirror. I know the Star Trek one.
I've seen it.
Oh, he's in Breaking Bad as well. Jesse Plemons is great in that film. It's the FBI. It's at the birth of the FBI, and they're like investigating, holding his own against DiCaprio and De Niro. I actually think he's due something soon. If not for this, obviously he's not been nominated as a Best Supporting. But yeah, Downey Jr. will win it. I think De Niro should win it, but who I think really should win it is probably Paul Mescal from All of Us Strangers. Yeah. Again, I mean, I was toying between him and Jamie Bell. I thought Jamie Bell in All of Us Strangers is really good.
Yeah.
How he can...
But I think Paul Mescal is a lot more... and a lot more emotional.
Yeah.
He puts a lot more into the role. I mean, Jamie Bell is fantastic in it.
Yeah.
He's... so Fred Idiot. What's going on with my brain? What's the bloke who plays tap dancing?
Billy
Elliot. But Paul Mescal, he's really good in that All of Us Strangers.
Yeah.
He's equally as good. They're all equally as good as each other, but there's a lot more emotion with his character.
I'll tell you who I want to win it though. I mean, I think Mark Ruffalo, despite I weren't a fan of Poor Things, Mark Ruffalo was quite funny in that. Oh. But I would like, just to put everyone's nose out of joint, Ryan Gosling to win it as Ken.
Why would they put people's nose out of joint?
Because they don't want him to win it. Because well, just all the snobby critics, they'll be like, no, it's got to be one of these more artistic performances. Whereas if he won it, and it would be a double-edged sword, because it would annoy Barbie fans, because they go, and it's typical, the only person to win an award is the only bloke in the film. So it would annoy everyone, and that's why I would like it if he won it. Got any other facts?
That's me with my facts done.
So
all my facts are... I'm coming out... I think I must be overtired, because I'm coming out with so much shit today.
Yeah, probably.
I do apologise, I ain't usually this thick. Well, I am, but
right,
I don't usually show it.
Best Supporting Actresses. So we've got Emily Blunt for Oppenheimer, Danielle Brooks for The Colour Purple, American Ferrera for Barbie, Jodie Foster for Nyad, and Divine Joy Randolph for The Holdovers.
Who do you think should win?
Well, I'll tell you who I think will win. I think Divine Joy Randolph will win.
Okay.
And even though her performance is fine, she plays the maid in The Holdovers.
Okay.
And she's quite a large woman. You know, she's an African-American large woman. And the cynical side of me thinks the Academy Awards want to pat themselves on the back by awarding it to a minority, because the fact is, when they've done an award ceremony a few years ago where there was no black nominations in the top 5 categories, there was a big uproar and people threatening to boycott, so they have to tick certain boxes. She's fine, she's in there. I think who should win it out of all of them is Jodie Foster for Nyad.
Oh, she's brilliant. I don't see her in that, but I know she's a brilliant actress, Jodie Foster.
But again, it's not her best performance, but she's so reliable. She gives a believable performance in it. But who I think really should win it, who wasn't nominated, I did think about Claire Foy for All of Us Strangers.
Yeah, she was good.
And Penelope Cruz for Ferrari, but I've actually gone with Rachel McAdams for, again, Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret.
Rachel McAdams, is that her out of The Notebook?
Yeah.
With Ryan Gosling?
Yeah.
And Mean Girls she's in.
And Mean Girls.
I've never seen Mean Girls.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, but Rachel McAdams, she's a really good actress anyway, but in this, playing the mother to the young girl going through these hard times, not always getting it right, but you can tell there's a lot of love there. Yeah. She really cares about her daughter and stuff. I actually think she was the most, out of all the performances, comparing her against them ones, the one I actually warmed to the most and I actually felt was most believable.
Okay.
You know, I felt she sort of nailed it, and it's a shame she didn't get a nomination.
So you're looking forward to the Oscars, are you?
Yeah.
We should have had a little Oscar.
I'll put it in post. Oh. I think the score for Killer of the Flower Moon should win, because I really enjoyed it, because it was like it was done by Robbie Robertson.
Who done American Werewolf in London?
No.
Who's the one that done American Werewolf in London?
That was the person who Bradley Cooper was playing.
See, I didn't know, but you did say American Werewolf in London, so that's why I
said that at one point. Like a kid who goes, you said we was going to have sweets.
Are we there yet?
Yeah. Robbie Robertson, who was a lead guitarist for Bob Dylan, he was like a 60s and 70s icon. He's good driving bass and slide guitar, and he sadly died of prostate cancer as well. Okay. So if he wins this, you know,
Has he recently died?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Because the film only just came out. And regarding the songs as well, so I think the favourite for the songs is that one that it's one of the ones from Barbie, but it's not.
I'm only Ken or something.
I'm Just Ken.
Is
No,
it that?
I'm Just Ken's. That's been nominated. That won't win it. The other one will win it. But I think I'm Just Ken should win it out of all them ones because it's the only one that for me that's really memorable and people start singing straight away. You know, people know it. I'm just Ken. Anywhere else I'd be a 10.
What about that? Come on, Barbie, let's go party.
Yeah.
Ain't that one in it?
Yeah. I think it is in the end credits. But I actually think what really should win Best Song is Peach by Jack Black from the Super Mario Brothers movie.
Don't know that.
Peach.
Okay.
Do you remember it now?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Right. Okay,
Right,
and we've
so-
gone to the final one, and that's Best
It's
Director.
like bloody being at the Oscars, isn't it? Come on, when's this going to end?
Right, the Best Director nominees: Justine Triet for Anatomy of a Fall, Martin Scorsese for Killers of the Flower Moon, Christopher Nolan for Oppenheimer, Yorgos Lanthimos for Poor Things, and Jonathan Glazer for The Zone of Interest. Who I think will win it will be Christopher Nolan. I think he's a shoo-in for Oppenheimer. Scorsese does a fine job with Killers of the Flower Moon, but those are the movements. It's so distinctly Scorsese. Like you said, there's a window where you can really impress people. After that, people know what you're bringing to the
And
table.
this is what you're thinking, or is it what the buzz is?
That's who will win it, Christopher Nolan. Who I think should win it out of them five is Christopher Nolan. I do think he probably does the best job out of that. He's clearly put, I think, the most amount of time and effort and concentration into everything that he's done in it. Some of them I just think they're just too arty for their own sake. Who I think really should win it, I mean, as a side note, Michael Mann done a great job in Ferrari, especially there's a particular scene in it, a big tragic moment, which the way he directs that particular scene, I've rewound it and showed it to Mum. I said, Mum, just watch this. And she went, and I said, this really happened. And she watched it, she went, oh my God, I'll show you afterwards. It's interesting, it's good.
Okay.
But who I think really should win it is Andrew Hay for All of Us Strangers.
Yeah.
Because
He's not been nominated, has he?
No, but what I noted early on from the opening shot
Is it
was...
Haig? Andrew Haig, I think. Is it? Or Hay? Is it Haig? I think
Well, I
it's
said
Haig.
Andrew Hay.
I think it's Haig. But yeah.
Even from the opening shot where you got that slow cross dissolve, so you got the city and it slowly cross dissolves to you see him standing at the window. Well, it's not so much a cross dissolve, it's the way
beautifully filmed.
And then some of the scenes when he's taking the drugs and you have that.
He goes into the club, he
edit.
stands up of his bed and
Yeah.
he starts walking towards the window, all of a sudden he's walking into the club.
And watching it a
film.
second time, because the first time I thought, did I see the other fella in the club? And it's only the second time I go, he's in the background. But then as he sort of, the camera moves and someone walks across, he disappears.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, no, I just thought the way it goes, yeah, like you said, from the bed to the club, that's fantastic. And the bit, do you remember, there's a bit really freaky, it reminded me a bit of The Wall, where he starts screaming, he starts shaking his head. quite
On the
violently.
train.
There's that bit as well, yeah. I was thinking about it in the club. But yeah, the bit on the train where he's sort of like holding his head and it
Shaking it really
turns into him
fast.
as a little boy.
Yeah.
You know, some of the imagery in that film I think is amazing.
It's a really good film. You know what? I think that's going to be like a classic.
Yeah, I
mean,
think
we've
it's actually done it a favour not being nominated because of that. Sometimes when things get snubbed, people go, that's an outrage for years.
I mean, the amount of comments we've had on our page with that, I mean, people have been sort of saying about how lovely that film was. You know, we done the review of that, didn't we?
Yeah.
And on the YouTube, we or the Spotify. On the YouTube, actually, we've got the comments, people saying about how lovely, how they think it's a classic and what a lovely film. And
Oh, I think it is one of those films.
bad. It's a good film, very good film.
Yeah.
So that, I would have thought that would have been my go-to, but I've not seen none of the others, so I can't really say. But
You've seen Barbie?
I've seen Barbie.
So
yeah.
what was better, Barbie or...
No, All of Us Strangers.
Well, there you go.
That's more my film.
So that is literally just my opinion as what I think will win, what should win, and what really should win. I don't expect anyone to have the same opinion as me, and I don't care if they don't.
And I ain't seen none of them, so I don't really care. I've just been giving facts about the Oscars throughout the years, so... yeah, I would have thought All of Us Strangers, but that's not in there, so it don't really matter.
No.
So there. Anyway,
Yeah.
thank you very much for listening to us go on.
Yeah.
And I apologise for talking loads of shit, but I mean, I've been at work all day and had to stick this on to bloody sit and do a video podcast, which I don't like doing video podcasts, but he's insisted on it.
Yeah. Well, because it's the Academy Awards. And it's also, we've just had our 50th podcast. So it's like celebrating as well. All right, I'll speak to you later.
All right, then, thank you very much, and enjoy...
the Oscars.
No, we've got to say. Thank you very much, and we've got to sign out properly. Right, and it's good night from me.
Thanks a lot.
That's it.
So thank you very much. Thanks a lot for watching or listening, and enjoy the award ceremony, or do like most of us do and just look at the results afterwards.
In the papers the next day.
Yeah.
Right. Thanks for listening, and you can catch us on Spotify, iTunes, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. That's it, I think. All the other platforms. Right, thank you very much, and have a lovely evening. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Say that again. Say thank you very much. I've got a thing on the table. I didn't know my hand was there. So check us out on YouTube, TikTok, Spotify,
Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. And thank you very much. Have a lovely evening. What are you doing with your fucking hand still? Can't you just wait till the end, till we say bye-bye? Fuck's sake.
Yeah,
right. Right. Okay, right, you can catch us on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube,
Spotify,
iTunes. Please leave us a review.
Yeah.
So people can find us if they want
and
to. And share. And we'll catch them. Don't know what you're laughing at.
Share.
Not bad. Right.
I'm going to make share appear on the screen.
Right over my face. Right. Thanks for listening, and catch up with you soon. See you later. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.